And now, it's a very warm welcome to Mr. Michael Schellhorn, who's the product manager of the BMW M5 and BMW M5 CS. Welcome to you, Michael.
Yeah, hello, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate your time. Now, you obviously come to us with a very storied background. Can you tell us a little bit about your history with BMW M and some of the models that you've worked on?
Yeah, so my history at BMW M indeed started with the M5. So I'm in the BMW group for many years now, but I have joined BMW M especially for taking over responsibility of the F90 and now F90 M5 CS. So I have worked on a couple of cars earlier, for example the 3 Series Coupe E92, but this is, let's say, my first real baby.
Well, Michael, we're really excited to see that you're standing in front of the CS. Can you tell us when the development of that car began and what were some of the objectives?
Well, the development of this car began some in 2017, 2018, so 3-4 years ago. And the goal or the target of the whole thing was to bring the CS letters, which stand for competition sport, to the next, let's say, next segment. After the successful M2 CS, M3, M4 CS, we decided, okay, let's go one step further, take the M5 and see what's going to happen if we put the CS letters on it with the next level of driving performance and all the typical CS ingredients.
Now, Michael, the BMW M brand is obviously has a very strong relationship with motorsport. Was the record class time at the Nürburgring one of the key goals for the M5 CS?
Well, yes, as you have mentioned, we have a long tradition as BMW and BMW M on the Nürburgring. So, of course, if we bring a new high performance model like the M5 CS, we have the goal to be at maximum speed on the Nordschleife. And of course, this track was the main track to develop the car, to refine the car, to, let's say, to bring it to this ultimate performance, which you can also see on some details on the car, by the way.
Now, one aspect that's really impressive, Michael, is that you've been able to save 70 kilograms of weight. How were you able to achieve that?
Well, there's a couple of measures. As I mentioned before, the overall target of the car was to increase the performance overall on track and also on road, which means we had to define a power to weight ratio for this car, and taking out at the end 70 kilograms means that we started with integrating components like the carbon ceramic brakes or special carbon seats into the interior. We reduced noise insulation materials, and we took some special measures like also the carbon hood to really, let's say, decrease the weight of the car while increasing the performance.
Now, Michael, I've always been a big fan of M5. I have 2 kids, so I don't need any more than 4 seats. If I include my wife, 4 seats is more than enough. Can you tell us what was the inspiration behind the interior and the way you've configured it with those 4 individual seats?
Well, the inspiration about the interior was to do something really special, which is not seen in the automotive competitive environment so far. Meaning also from an interior perspective, a racetrack performance, a racetrack feeling, the best driver and passenger feeling you can get while driving on a racetrack. And there, the idea was developed to not only implement carbon front seats, but also do a special rear seat installation, with 2 single seats, and as you mentioned, the 4-seater or the sedan concept. We still have the Isofix preparation for baby seats and stuff in the rear.
I think it's been a big focus point in a lot of the markets, and especially here in Australia for those who have seen the concept. It really did a really good job there with honing in on that interior setup. So well done.
Oh, thanks.
Now, Michael, the power figure is absolutely astonishing. So 7 more kilowatts than the M5 competition. Can you tell us what you did to increase the output for the CS?
Well, basically, as the 4.4 liter engine is already so performant and so strong, we didn't have to change hardware. We did it with some software updates, so that we could increase the power output to 635 horsepower. And the torque level changed a bit. We have the same torque with 750 Newton meters, but the characteristics of the engine changed in order to really reach the ultimate high performance.
Now, Michael, it continues to amaze me how quick our cars are and how the evolution of our vehicles, in particular the M cars, just get faster and faster. The claimed sprint time is 3 seconds. Can you tell us, or can you share with us, whether the actual car achieved a quicker time than what is being proposed?
Well, of course, we always have to have in mind that if we tell or communicate a figure, which is 3.9 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, we have to keep in mind that this number has to be, let's say, reproducible. So let's say a good driver has to be able to reach this number, be it a customer, be it a car test magazine or whatever. So of course, during development, we had different levels of acceleration with our test cars, but in the end, the 3.0 is the number where we say, okay, this can be, let's say, guaranteed to be achievable.
So you're sort of saying that we can achieve quicker speeds in the right environment with the right driver, but you're not technically saying that either.
Yeah, so as I said, this number is really, I think, a very competitive number.
Yeah,
and we want to be authentic, and we do not want to, let's say, just write some figures and without being 100% sure that this is also realistic.
Yeah.
Now, Michael, among the many interesting styling elements and interesting aspects to the exterior package are the yellow headlights, the light tubes. Was motorsport an influence in that? Because we've seen that among many endurance race cars before, and it's such a striking element, and I'm sure it'll look amazing on CS when it hits the road.
Yes, definitely. So those light tubes will be in yellow. It is, let's say, reminds us on the tradition of BMW in motorsports, in endurance racing, as you mentioned. And we wanted to bring this element to the special car to show or to bridge the two worlds of road and race cars in the tradition of BMW M. Should we turn the light on just for a moment?
Yeah,
that would be great. Please, yeah, thank you.
Probably leave them on, actually, can't we?
Yeah.
This is the yellow light tubes, which I think
very
fit
impressive.
perfectly also to the car as such.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
Now, Michael, in relation to the handling, we've got the retuned bearing springs on the front and the rear. Can you tell us what impact that plays with the overall handling of the car?
Yeah, so we learned, beginning with the F90, with the M5 competition LCI, we have learned a lot from the M8 Grand Coupe, and we took some dampers from this car. And for the M5 CS, we took the same setup, but then refined it in terms of adapting it to the reduced weight, to the track tires which we offer for this car, and to the, let's say, to increase the overall handling performance and feeling, so that it gets even more precise, even at absolute high speed, but still stays comfortable enough to do longer road trips with it.
That actually feeds directly into my next question, Michael, just to get an understanding of the multiple, I guess, abilities of M5 CS, in that it can be a track weapon, but it can also be a very comfortable road car for long trips. As well as what you've described, are there other aspects that you can talk about that really make this the ultimate all-rounder?
Yes, so as mentioned before, it is, even if this car, or as this car is at ultimate high performance level, it's still an M5, it's still a sedan, and our clear target was to keep its everyday usability, which means that it drives comfortable for longer distances, so you can take it to the track and then do some track laps and then return in the car home, or do your holiday trips. As I said, for the small members of the family, we still have the Isofix mounting at the rear seats, and also in terms of interior, I don't want to say noise, because the sound is different from the regular M5, but also there it's still okay. You feel comfortable as a driver or passenger, and all these measures lead to a, let's say, full everyday usability of the M5 CS.
Now it's an incredible car, and we can talk for hours and hours about the car. We cannot wait until the first production that comes out of March hits our shores. We have 20 that are coming to Australia, so we're extremely excited to, or at least Nick and I will be extremely excited to test drive one if and when we can. But we want to know a little bit more about yourself, Michael. So can you tell us, what is your daily drive car?
Well, currently my daily drive car is a 3 Series sedan.
Yep.
So with the 340 with the 6-cylinder engine. So yeah, that's what I'm driving for everyday use at the moment.
I think you need to get a petition, Michael, where we all sign that you should be driving in an M5 as your daily drive car at the very least. So I'll be happy to sign that one for you if you like.
Oh yes, I would be happy too. Well, cool. I'd say it's maybe a bit a matter of money.
And Michael, given you've worked on so many different cars and different projects, do you have an interest in the history and the heritage of the brand, and do you have any classic cars in your garage?
To be honest, I don't have any in my garage yet. I'm very interested in the E39 M5, to be honest. But I haven't found the right car yet. And for future reference, this beast here would be the perfect classic car. It just comes down again to collect some money, I think.
Yeah, agree.
We agree.
Now, I mean, we Nick and I are fortunate in the roles that we have, where we get a bit of an understanding of what's coming up and what's being developed within the BMW M family. Is there any sort of hints that you could tell our listeners, without divulging too much information, about what future projects you are working on?
Well, that's a difficult question, and you might understand that. And
I don't want you to get fired, so
tell you. Yes, because then it's over with M5 driving. Exactly. So I'm working on a couple of new topics and new projects, and what I can say is that there will be very exciting things to come up from BMW M. But as I say, we have to come back later to you on that as soon as it's okay to talk about.
But it's fair to say there is consistently development and projects within the pipeline, not only for the BMW Group, but obviously the M family itself. It's forever developing and evolving with the times and always leading with the pack there. And we know there's some exciting things coming up in the next couple of years. So we're really looking forward to that. We hopefully have the opportunity to interview you again at some stage where we can deep dive into those topics in a little bit more detail. So yeah, really appreciate it.
Yeah, so you can be sure that at BMW M we won't stop, and we will continue to be the leader of the pack, definitely.
Well, that makes us very happy, Michael. So thank you very much for your time. We wish you a really good day, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully in Australia soon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a great pleasure, and I also hope to be in Australia at some point in the near future again, just because also myself I have some relations to Australia, with friends and family. So yes, hopefully see you soon. Thank you.
Well, we'd love to host you. We'd love to look after you. So let us know when you're planning on coming down. Really appreciate your time, the effort you've put into it, and what an amazing machine you've developed there behind you. We cannot wait until this hits our shores in Australia. So once again, thank you very much, Michael, and appreciate your time.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay, yeah, thank you.